You are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and you know what those days mean. It's time for another AEW Event Center report for either Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. And now, here is the host of the AEW Event Center Wrestling Report, New Bedford's version of Tony Schiavone, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 1896 of the show, and we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash 2024. As you know, we are a week away from Christmas, I believe. Here's the weird situation. I don't know if they're going to air Dynamite next week, but if they do, I don't think they do. I think they're going to air on the Sunday before Christmas. I may end up having to watch that, so if that's the case. So I'll see what the the schedule will be like on next week, because lots of craziness is going to happen next week, because obviously Christmas Day falls next week, because you got Monday Night Raw, the second to the final Raw on the USA Network. That's one. And you got the Christmas Eve edition of NXT. You got you got Christmas, you got TNA on the 26th, you got SmackDown, possibly Rampage on the 27th. I don't think there's a Rampage on this this Friday, this coming Friday. But you got Christmas Collision. You got Christmas Collision on the 21st. Also, you got Collision on the 28th, and then that's the world. And you got the World's. That's right, the World's End. That could be the reason why. World's End pay-per-view on the 29th, or it's on the 28th. So lots of craziness is happening all around. So we gotta just tune in and find out what the heck is going on. I'll probably play everything by ear, because I don't know, because my videos could be totally out of whack. We might have some possible snow over the weekend, because it is winter and all that. But but it doesn't look like much. Less than 40% chance of precipitation. We'll find out there. Some big news from Monday Night Raw for the January 6th Netflix premiere on Raw. It will be the Women's World title will be on the line. Liv Morgan will defend it against Rhea Ripley. And if that's the case, so 3 huge matches are going down. And you got Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, the tribal combat between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and now the Women's World title match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And also, Logan Paul has been added as the newest member of the Raw roster. They had the Raw Netflix kickoff show and all that good stuff. Kevin Owens is walking around with the Winged Eagle title, claiming he's the real world's champion. Well, a la Ric Flair back in 1991, remember that? Then you got, Gunther saying, you guys, Michael Cole brought up Logan Paul. He goes, I'm hoping to slap the smirk on his face. I'm rooting for Gunther for that one. But Logan Paul is going to fight Conor McGregor. I hope McGregor eats him for lunch. That's what I'm hoping. Let's just say this. I have a better chance of going on a date with Tony Storm than Logan Paul does in beating Conor McGregor. And I find out that's fight fixed. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm hoping Conor McGregor beats the snot out of Logan Paul. So that's what's happening in the WWE right now. But speaking of Tony Storm, I'll talk about her in just a moment here. Renee Paquette kicked her off by interviewing Orange Cassidy and Jay White. And, Orange Cassidy and Jay White talking about how they want to beat the Death Riders first. And then, Hangman Adam Page comes up and he says, I want Moxley, he's mine. And then Jay White goes, at least you match us. This is great. So Darby Allin, though, addresses Will Ospreay as they have a Gold League match between the two of them. And he says, Showtime, in honor of his mentor Sting, and Will Ospreay responds to Darby Allin. Then the first action of the night, the TBS title line, Mercedes Moné defending the title against Anna Jay. Now, January 5th is Wrestle Dynasty. Mercedes Moné will defend the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship against the lovely, the gorgeous, the Stardom sensation herself, Mina Shirakawa. So, we shall see what happens in that matchup. But for now, Mercedes Moné is defending the TBS title against Anna Jay. And Mercedes Moné, in a hard-fought match, did pick up the victory as Chris Statlander looks on. Chris Statlander will have to get the title back from Mercedes Moné. FTR addresses the Death Riders in Nashville, North Carolina. FTR is not going to fight for the rest of the year, so that means they'll be out 2 weeks, basically. Out for 2 weeks, and that's the rest of the year. And they said at the Fight for the Fallen, they will be medically cleared. They'll fight the Death Riders. We'll see what happens there. And then the Beavis-looking butthead himself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, comes out to address the Washington, D.C. crowd. He roasts them. He roasts the Washington Wizards. And then MJF says, he rants and raves about his favorite holiday, Hanukkah. He is Jewish, by the way. Just keep it score and who don't know. But MJF's a Beavis-looking butthead for being a jerk, and so, and he's doing. I'm going to do a fundraiser for, starving children. He puts up a picture of Adam Cole looking skinny, and I'm like, that's doctored. Oh my gosh. And Adam Cole interrupts him via screen. He says, hey, I want to make sure I get that ring from you. I want to make sure two guys make sure you don't go walk away. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett support him. And then all of a sudden he goes, I forgot one question to ask you. Have I kicked your butt lately? And I remember, and then you see the picture, you see Adam Cole actually standing behind MJF. He attacks MJF, but MJF retreats. So I was like, good. I'm hoping, if MJF wanted to sign with the WWE, I wanted him to go on Raw. So I want to see Gunther chop the crap out of him, turn MJF's chest into hamburger meat. But then again, I want to see Gunther versus Logan Paul. I want to see Logan Paul get chopped the heck out of him. I want Gunther to chop his soul, man. So, and then Jamie Hayter addresses Julia Hart, challenges her to a matchup at the Fight for the Fallen. So, we'll see that. That's in 2 weeks. We'll find out when that match will happen. Kenny Omega returning to AEW soon, promo. But he's going back to New Japan, I do believe, to face Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. So, that match will be going down. And Hook and Katsuyori Shibata went up against the Patriarchy's Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Christian Cage is technically the number one contender for the AEW World title. It's a matter of him cashing that contract in. But then during the matchup, Kip Sabian and Shayna Wayne did get involved during the match, giving Cage and Wayne the victory over Hook and Shibata. Chris Jericho talks about being the king of New York, and he's holding the Ring of Honor World title. I think he's trying to make a mockery of Matt Cardona. In fact, this Friday they're having their matchup, final battle for the championship. So, Ring of Honor World Championship. Another returning to AEW promo will be Bandito. So Bandito, will he join LFI? We'll find out when that happens. Mariah May does cut a promo on Thunder Rosa, and she made it personal when she mentioned Thunder Rosa's dad. I'm going, boy, you're just going to make her even madder, Mariah. And then Tony Schiavone was in the ring interviewing Ricochet. Ricochet comes out, and Earth Syndicate interrupts him. And then Ricochet's trying to, hey, you guys look nice, and everything else. And MVP goes, I sent you my business card, yeah. So let me see it. And then he rips it up while Bobby Lashley grabs him by the throat and goes, and MVP goes, we don't like kiss asses. I'm like, I was like, dude, you're making me nervous. I'm trying to get myself out of this situation. I don't want to join the Hurt Syndicate. I just want to get out of the ring. Thank you. Although if somebody tried to block my path to the ring, I'd kick him in the nads. That's what I would do. Do some nad kicking. Anyways. So, Shelton Benjamin went up against the Beast Mortos in the 11th Blue League matchup, and Shelton Benjamin finally gets the win. And then they all attack. MVP was joining on commentary, but then Lashley and Benjamin attacked Mortals after the matchup. Daniel Garcia interrupts the Hurt Syndicate and said, no. And then Mark Briscoe joins Daniel Garcia, and both of them try to fight Benjamin and Lashley until MVP clobbered Garcia in the back with his cane. And then he hands the TNT title over to Shelton Benjamin, like Shelton Benjamin's going to win it. Maybe that's Shelton Benjamin's goal. We don't know. We'll see how he does in the Continental Classic. Meanwhile, so Renee Paquette interviewed Ricochet and said, "Listen, I'm not going to worry about that. But there's one reason why I joined AEW is to face Will Ospreay. But I'm not here just to face Will Ospreay." Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana interrupted him. So then it's RJ City interviewing Toni Storm, portrait of a rock star. And Toni Storm is acting like she's going to AEW for the very first time. I think she had no recollection of being a 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. She considers Saraya a legend, and I think who else she considered an icon? Mercedes Moné, and then she goes to Mariah May, best in the world. And, it looks like she's gone through some serious memory loss. She's gone crazy or something like that. I don't know what's up with Toni Storm, but I love Toni Storm, nonetheless. And if she does have a pancake butt, give me some syrup and some butter. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Then the Continental Classic, the 9th Gold League match, Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin picked up the victory, and Claudio Castagnoli comes out and glares at Darby Allin, I should say, after the match. What did I say Darlin for? I don't know. Darby Allin. After the matchup, Darby Allin looked back, and then the main event was a trios matchup. Jay White, Orange Cassidy, Adam Page, all opponents for Jon Moxley at World's End against Jon Moxley, and 2/3 of the trios champs, Pac and Wheeler Yuta. And during the matchup, Page, I think, was so frustrated he walks away from the matchup. Claudio Castagnoli gets involved during the matchup. Page returns and goes after Moxley, and then Page and White were arguing, giving the Death Riders an opportunity, and ended up winning the Death Riders ended up winning the matchup, and they're still arguing. Cassie's trying to knock it off, but then they decided to brawl with the Death Riders, but as all three men were realizing what's going on, they would try to get at Jon Moxley, but Moxley retreats along with Marina Shafir. So that is it. That's all the time we have on the show for this episode 1896. Tomorrow we got Pressure Luck, we got Rant and Wave TNA, and the whatnot. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night, rest of your night. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.